Log recording, 3:23 p.m. in the West Coast time. It's still the 16th of December, 2023 at the Weaver Regency of Roseman, California. Okay, enough of that crap. I've already got my own response to Jesse Dollarmore. Sometimes I watch his ass, and sometimes I'm wondering why I'm watching his shows. Something either out of boredom or something, or maybe he's got something that actually gets to me. Like every other independent guy out there looking for sensationalism and not just no, basically they're just picking up on people who have lost their minds and therefore they have to put them into the public spotlight, and the guys like me unfortunately are responding to that crap. I'm wondering myself, why am I doing this? Well, when I saw the video regarding Jill Biden uh, doing the White House, I thought it was pretty nice. I mean, every year I see something like that going on and how they try to decorate it and make it worthwhile. And then Jesse goes crazy on this video situation where Fox is going crazy. So he's got to report on Fox. He's got to make his bread and butter on this one. He's like one of those other shock guys left and right I've seen on the 80s and 90s and going throughout. When we didn't have the social media, when we didn't have the internet, we had these shock jocks on there for radio and not to mention television. Trying to show us, trying to get the reactions necessary to build up their ratings and to build up their audience. I'm going to have to keep asking myself on a constant basis, why do I have to keep responding to this stuff? Because it does get my attention. Why? Because I am out of my mind getting these attention things, and I'm asking myself, is it all worth it? Sometimes it is. Sometimes some of the controversial ones are important enough for me to go after them one way or another. And in dealing with something about shootings and of kids being neglected. Okay, excuse me. Trying to get my pillow underneath. Gotta get me a better chair, I swear. But dealing with school shootings, dealing with campus shootings, that scares me to hell. I react. I put my reactions on video. I put my outrage, I put my feelings, I put my fear, my anger, and then I'm trying to do critical thinking about what the hell happened, why, and the hypotheticals going through the head. Got to put that out. But reacting to a damn video put on Instagram concerning about a holiday message sent to people left and right, always trying to be hip, trying to be slick, and trying to be cute. I'm not talking about the conservative with the MAGA crap. I'm talking about decorating the White House with function, form, dignity, grace, holiday cheer. Basically 18th, 19th century. But still you get the feeling of that, of form and function. And then you throw in a Broadway show. You throw in a Broadway show doing the tap dances back from the 20s and 30s or 40s. Maybe in 50s if you're lucky enough. You see the soft shoe, you see the tap. You see a holiday theme show, uh, a ballet that's been around for decades. Music is synonymous with the holiday season. You have rock groups out there who jazz it up with their own format, with their own way, and people flock to see the music, to hear, to experience. I'm partial to a lot of them. One of them's Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Love them. Memory is going, but I remember some of the music left and right. Hang on one second. I gotta see something real fast here. How about this group? Mannheim Steamroller. They've been out there for decades. Chip Davis. I was listening to him since the 80s. Loved his music. I loved the music that they actually had, and they jazzed up a lot of holiday themes that we listened to. There was nothing wrong with it. It was part of the modern day era of listening to the season. You know, celebrating Christmas, listening to that kind of music. Some of the stuff that we listen to in church and in synagogues, and if they actually did sing in synagogues like that, but probably not. But the music was out there, and they jazzed it up for different generations, to where older and younger can actually enjoy it and hum it in their heads, or actually have it stuck in their heads so they can't get rid of it. There was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong with seeing tap dancers in a hallway when they're in a holiday theme area that they're demonstrating or showing off how to celebrate Christmas. Was it ever stated, was it ever formalized in our religious upbringings that Christmas had to be a certain set function, had to be a certain set pattern, had to be? Basically, when Christmas came around, we had a newborn baby born in a manger with a traveler and his wife. The traveler being a carpenter. And we have a woman, the wife, born at a holy conception. So the holiday season is celebrating that birth. And for a long while, we had celebrated that. But there was no set form or function. It was just, it was there. Until we had to start creating certain things to celebrate it with. The invention of Santa Claus, a real guy celebrating, giving toys to the good people and cold, not so good people or kids. A peddler. And legends grew out of the stories of the guy, both good and bad, to what we have today. Is many versions of the simpler peddler with a backpack, of giving sacks of toys and stuff to good children who didn't have anything on Christmas Day, a day where we celebrated Christ's birth, and gold, myrrh, frankincense, spicing, very expensive spicing. It's trying to, in today's market, it's like trying to give gold, silver, and diamonds to a kid. Kid wouldn't know what to deal with gold and silver and diamonds. The parents would. But that kind of spicing is gifts associated centuries later with a gentleman with a pack giving gifts on a day that Christ was born. And somehow down the line, there was a ruler of a different time, of a different place, after Christ, decided December 25th was going to be the date. So we celebrated. The days before that, the Jewish calendar and the Jewish faith, in their history, we celebrated 8 days of where an oil lasted. It was supposed to last for 1 day, but it lasted 8 days. Now, I should have been doing more further research about what Hanukkah meant. And that's, well, this, using a euphemism for today, my grandmother would be jumping on my ass, and so would Ma. My bad. I should have been studying more and more about the Jewish faith and the history. It's complicated, convoluted, and complex, and enriching because it would help understand my own Christian faith. Christ was born a Jew. His teachings were a part of the Old Testament, but revised, updated, and different. And they were trying to share hope and faith and love more than what the old teachings were. And from those teachings came our Christianity, our own beliefs, from the stories that we've been told by people who have been there and reinterpreted many, many times. We got gist of it. But we hold on to the gist of it because it's the only thing that we know about our faith. And some things are important to us. To the Christians anyway. To the folks who follow the Christian faith. I haven't touched on Islamic. That's an area I am totally ignorant, and I wish I was not. It probably would have been fascinating too. But we are dealing with, in this season right now, the season of joy, of giving, of love, and we're killing ourselves and each other in the name of that love. We've been doing it for centuries. You ever heard of the Crusades? How does this relate to the White House and the Hoochie Coochie line? It's understanding that a White House has been built to represent the people's house. Actually, Congress is supposed to be that, but also the White House is that. They're all people's houses, in my book. And we considered it politically holy ground. We can decorate it and jazz it up a little bit. And it offends people who think of it as holy ground, politically and religiously. And to desecrate it one way or another is to call in the wrath of the gods, apparently. If that's the case, then the place should have been destroyed over and over and over again. But it took them a long time just to get the White House built. How long is it going to take to get them the White House built again and again? And how much it cost to the American public for that if it keeps getting destroyed because we had forces that kept saying, no, it's got to be preserved as a holy ground. It's a place of politics. But even people who have different beliefs and share certain common beliefs and common traditions and traits, they wanted to show their appreciation of the season. But also what I think what the other people, the conservatives, would think about treating the White House instead of just a place to be decorated, but keep it as a shrine, the separation of church and state. Now here's one that should have been freaking conservatives, and they should have been screaming this thing out for decades on this one. I mean, if they're going to be decorating the holy ground of politics, if they're going to be decorating the White House with religion, I'm surprised the ACLU or anybody else wasn't going after the White House or the federal government on this one to strip it away. But this was a place they accepted. And therefore we would have the debate regarding church versus state on this one. But there's been crickets on that one. So it was just commonly accepted. They still could get away with it, limited. But you want to show how much you appreciate the holiday season, so you decorate it. But you don't call it Christmas. You call it holidays, the winter holidays, to avoid the political fallout, the political and religious fallout on this one. Because if you happen to call it Christian decorations in there, then that's the political system recognizing religion, breaking the First Amendment right there. So I'm surprised the conservatives haven't gone crazy over the past decades over this damn stuff, or even the ACLU on this one. This is observations I've had. So they commonly accept Christian decorations in the church. They accept Christian decorations in the White House now, without going ape over it. But what gets to them is when we have people trying to celebrate it more in a theatrical version, in a holiday song and dance. That's what pisses them off more and more. That's what gets to them. At least in my book. Do I mind that they have Christian decorations in there? I consider it the winter holidays. I consider the Christmas tree as the winter holidays. Christ didn't have a Christmas tree. He was born in a manger. That's why we have the nativity scenes being sold commercially left and right, or being demonstrated left and right. Because we're trying to show the true image of Christmas as a family being created. I don't object. In fact, he even put in the menorahs in the White House to prove that they are not subjugated to one particular religion. They are still pluralistic. Another thing that they fail to look at, the conservatives. And Jesse Dollemore and others like him are bitching and griping about it because Fox News and the conservatives are bitching and griping about it. It's not an annual thing. It's because of voting season. Because of the political runs. Now they're trying to build up the base at this point. How crazy it is. We live in a society like this. We can't be pluralistic. We can't enjoy the holiday season. We have to follow someone else's interpretations and versions of the damn thing. It really makes me sick to my stomach sometimes, I swear. It just does. Anyway, my thoughts about the situation there, which I'll probably send over to Jesse anyway. So I get his email address. I'll send a copy of the link over to him. Let him have fun with it. How am I feeling about the holiday season? I got my other videos to tell you about that one.